To start with, this is a meeting by opposition political parties in Nigeria, and it's our maiden meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to galvanize the support of political parties towards judicial and electoral reforms in this country, towards good governance, towards reforming our electoral process. And today we have adopted a name, and the name of this group will be Conference of Opposition Political Parties in Nigeria, COPIN. And by the grace of God, it was a very fruitful meeting. The Labour Party delegation was led by Chief, and we also have the delegation of Apga, led here by, yes, and we have the apology of few political parties, but we've all agreed that as opposition political parties in this country, we are going to work together to end the pain and end the shame, democratic shame in this country. We want to make sure that we visibly meet to discuss issues of electoral reform, issues of judicial reform, issues of INEC, issues of rigging, and how we can partner together as opposition political parties in this country to work together to end the democratic shame and the democratic pain in this country, especially from the last elections we've seen in Kogi and Imo. We believe that we cannot continue like this as a country. There's a need for amelioration, there's a need for palliation, there's a need for correction. And we have resolved that I, as the convener of this meeting, will drive the political parties, opposition political parties in this country, to do the needful and to keep the party in power in check, to make sure that our democratic ideals, our democratic doctrines, our democratic tenets in this country is respected, and that there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be egalitarianism in our democracy in this country. And we believe that we have adjourned to meet in a date that will be announced, and we are going to take this very seriously. And the battle to rescue this country democratically for all opposition political parties is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we are all committed to this cause. And what we are calling for here is not a measure. What we are calling for is all opposition political parties working together to build our democracy, to strengthen our democracy, to ameliorate our democratic problems, to make sure that by the grace of God, we push for, judicial and electoral reforms that will strengthen our democratic process and stop rigging and stop allocation of votes by the ruling political party, and to be proper opposition parties, proper opposition political parties in this country. So it is not, it's a matter of collaboration, it's a matter of unity, it's a matter of doing things together for the betterment of the masses and the populace of this country. So it is not a matter of a measure, it is not a measure of political parties, it is rather a conference of opposition political parties in Nigeria. And the main purpose is to make sure that together we push for a unified electoral and judicial system, to have a better electoral process and to curb the likes of Mahmoud Yakubu from rigging elections in subsequent
Okay, so what's your reaction to the relocation of Kogi State Governorship Election Tribunal to Abuja here?
I have no confidence in the judicial system, so I don't even, whether relocated or not relocated, the judiciary remains the judiciary.
This is about putting interests together to make sure that our democratic processes work for the general populace, who are the electorate, who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance, occasioned by bad electoral processes, as led by Yakubu Mahmoud. For us, for things to work, this partnership is for electoral, judicial, and constitutional reform that will help in improving our electoral atmosphere, that will make sure that one man, one vote will be the issue, that will make sure that anybody who goes to cast his vote will be sure that his vote will be counted, that will make sure that Nigerians will have confidence in the electoral process again. Because as it stands today, let me tell you, we have one of the worst democratic process going on right now, because the way the Electoral Commission is managing the process. And I tell you, it's very also important, as part of the electoral reform that we're pursuing, that the commission will be unbundled. Because as today, the commission is overburdened, and because of that nature of weight, commission is acting as state, as someone who is protection of the state, who work and conduct election as if the interest is to protect parties in government. The opposition parties have suffered more over the years, because when you go to election, you have to work along with the fact that the electoral system is working against you from day one. And Labour Party suffered more in the last election. So for all this to work, the parties must be united. They must come together to have a focus on how the electoral system must be fair, electoral system must be credible, and the electoral system must represent the true wishes and aspirations of our people.
All right, thank you.
Please, I have a little question. Whatever you are doing in this coalition ends up at the National Assembly. This conference ends up at the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is headed by somebody to do the right thing and to restore the right political.
The National Assembly is the people's house, and they will know that when the Nigerian people speak and have a reform that will protect the general interests of our people, that they will not work against it. Because one, the National Assembly does not only consist of the ruling party, it consists of all other parties, like the PDP and the Labour Party, and the NNPP, then Apga. So we are going there to present something that will save Nigeria from this shame, from this international embarrassment, something that will give light and give life to our electoral processes, something that will enrich our democratic practice, something that will give growth and development to our people. Because why? Because elections are not fair, because elections are not credible, and is the reason why those who get into government misbehave, because they are not elected by the people. When our elections start to have these ingredients, that credentials, that is fair, that is credible, and that is only by the vote of the people that you can be elected, you will find out those who get into office will be responsible and be responsive to the yearnings of our people.
Ikora, the National Vice Chairman, North Central Apga.
Okay, let's hear from the Apga angle of this.
Yeah, the conference today showed us that we need to come together and make the democracy work again. So we can't allow it continue to happen in the way they want it. This is a democracy, and we must work together. And this, at the time we are coming now, we must compel them to do what is right for the masses.
Thank you very much.
Abdulaziz Arikora is my name.
My name is Ajia Zoira Issa Ajia, National Deputy Woman Leader from Apga.
Now, the elections are over and the political parties are trying to come together to find a way of adjusting the electoral process to give us credible elections in the country. Do you think, what do you think should be done to get the system working?
Okay, for my own assumption, the way they call us together, they want us to unite ourselves so that the way we can move the political level. Because believe me honestly, we are left behind. The way and those people are doing with the other parties, they are not doing actually what's supposed to be done. They are just doing their own. So after they call us, they want us to be united and live together so that we can work on together. I believe when we are united to ourselves, we can achieve what we want, inshallah.